Alright, kids, so this is going to be a story about how I built my dream truck. So, a little background, this truck, me and my dad restored it. And I appreciate having, a great dad and family that, are able to help me with that kind of thing. So, yeah. But here's what it started as. She was a clapper. Most people say it looks clean, but, man, some kid rail canned the whole truck. It was just an old Survivor that just been on the road its whole life, just clapped. Here we started sanding her down, getting all that dirty paint off of it. Started doing some body fill work here. Here we pulled the box off. I think we were doing body work on the back of the cab. Another shot of that. Here we pulled the box off the truck, right here, the skid steer. Then we started doing the frame. Wire reeled the whole thing. Painted it up all nice. That's actually the original tank, too. A couple shots of that here. Oh, yeah, there's the floor paint. So I took the carpet out, and there's a street sign that was under that, actually. There's the new one I put in it. Pretty mint. There's my doggy. There's me working on the old girl. Yeah, I don't have a cigarette in my mouth in that video. That's a lollipop. I think I did an oil change right here. I don't know why. Oh, I got a sweet little time lapse here. Me just ripping that dirty sander. My frickin' dirty cut-off coveralls there. Just giving her hell. Believe in this video was so long ago. I believe in this. I'm sanding down all the old paint and everything to get that inside the cab ready for paint and bed liner. I'm also sanding some Duraglass work and some other things too. I had to do a few patches. A lot of rust on this truck. Yeah, I got a couple shots here, grinding down some welds, some more Duraglass. Yeah, there's a patch I did right there. Looks like I'm grinding the Duraglass off of it. Sanding off all that old paint. Yeah, so that one patch in the middle right there that you see, somebody took a hole saw and drilled a hole in it, and they had duct tape over it. It was pretty mint. But on the floor in the back of the cab, there was just a solid rot hole all the way through, so we had to do a pretty big patch for that. It was pretty mint. But, a lot of people will say, oh, your parents probably bought you this. And that's okay to, I understand. I'd probably assume that too. But, I'm not trying to be, arrogant or whatever. But I did work very hard to buy this truck, when it was a clapper when I was 15. And, I just, I'm grateful that I was able to, work hard and be able to pay for parts and everything. And have a great dad that was able to help me restore it. And a lot of hard work went into it. Literal blood, sweat, and tears, Man, that sounds cringy, but, it's true. But, yeah, here we started painting inside the door jambs. The color I went with this truck is Ford Leadfoot Gray. That color came out in 2021. I painted the back of my doors. Here we took the dash out, completely sanded down, painted it. I think we had to patch a few things, too, in it. Started putting the interior back together. Went with a rubber mat instead of a carpet. I don't know. I think that carpet just gets nasty and, crap gets in it and all that. So that steering wheel actually came from a 60s Mustang. I found it in the car. Was it original? I don't know, but I restored it because I thought it was cool and I threw her in. So there's me frickin' taking her for a rip. Man, I look weird back then. Yeah, there's the inside. We just put the seat in. Started patching some holes in the bed. Got a couple patch panels, sanded her all down, primed her up. Put the box back on the truck. Remember that. That's when I was getting excited, getting close to having her done finally. Got my new wheels and tires on. Remember that. Went with a spray-in bed liner for my box. Didn't have time to restore the tailgate because I actually daily drove this truck for a few years. So we did a net. Got it back from the paint shop. There's my doggy. All right. And this is when we took it on its first drive. So yeah, we got it drivable literally just in the nick of time. So I drove one of my dad's second vehicles that he leased for a while, the school and work and all that. And we literally, like, the lease was up on that literally 2 days before we got it done. So yeah, that's why it still doesn't have a tailgate on it today, and I just never got around to it, moved on with life with other things. But unfortunately, I drove this truck for 2 days after I got done, and the left rear wheel decided it was going to fall off while I was driving and completely just crunched my box side. And that really, bothered me for a while. But we still sent her anyway. So yeah, I ended up driving the truck for like a year like that, and I was just grateful that I was safe and, it wasn't worse, and grateful I had great family to, help me fix it and everything like that. So I ended up replacing the wheel studs and lug nuts all around because one of them, the threads pulled out, and then it just led to all the lug nuts coming off. And yeah, it was pretty awesome. It really sucked, but well, you'll have that on them big jobs. But and a lot of stuff broke after I started driving it, like a lot. I blew a rear end out of it, but I had good friends and family that helped me out, and I was able to fix everything, and like, got me through it, which was great. Appreciate that. So I actually drove this truck for the first year I had it done. Well, I guess you could say done, with no headliner. So yeah, I finally did a headliner. I went with a back the blue flag, which is actually not too bad and pretty affordable to do. You just get your your normal headliner board and take a piece of fabric and spray adhesive it on, and then lay the flag over it. So yeah, pretty mint. All right, guys, I'm going to give you a full walk around in my truck. So we're gonna start in the front, starting with the engine. So it's got a 400 big block, also known as a 351 modified. Hasn't had much done to it. I think it's got a cam in it from the guy that had it before me. I'm not too sure, but we got a Holley 4-barrel carb, an Edelbrock single plane intake, Hedman long tube headers. I've had a little bit done. I rebuilt the power steering pump, got a Petronix distributor. It's a driver. Engine compartment's not completely restored, but you know what? It's not perfect. Another upgrade I did was LED headlights with built-in fog lights. Just because those old incandescents, you really can't see shit with them. Got a rough country steering stabilizer. We got a factory original Dana 44 front axle. It's got a rough country 2.5-inch lift, new coil springs in the front, shocks all around, and blocks in the back. The exhaust system I got in the truck is Hedman long tube headers, and they go back. This Flowmaster Super 44s that come with a 45 right in front of the rear wheels, dumped out to true dual RBP exhaust tips. Kids for the interior. We got an original seat that's been reupholstered by me, very professional, done in the garage of course. Got a custom with a K, back the blue flag headliner that I did on the box of the truck. I would say the tailgate, but I don't have one. Got probably one of the only parts in this truck that's never been restored. Got the OG auto gauge tack that came with the truck, put it back in. Gotta have the Ken Block shades. RIP 43. Damn shame that he passed. New door panels. Complete interior's been repainted. Went with a leather mat. Well, not a leather, but like a rubber mat instead of that nasty ass carpet. You know, it's really delicious. You can hear after an old day and there's mud everywhere. You know, it's great. Steering wheel. This has an interesting story. So this is actually some random steering wheel that I found in a 1967 Mustang that I restored and decided to put in my truck. So I actually sanded this all down and I painted this off. It was chrome, but it was all corroded, and then I resanded the wood and I clear coated it and just cleaned it up. I mean, she squeaks a little bit, but it's pretty mint. Alright, as of additional controls and stuff I did, got your transfer case shifter, got a little switch panel here. All of them work except for two, of course. I am a big audio guy, so here we got a nice Alpine head unit. Got your basic climate controls. Ignition switch. Automatic C6, so you know there's no clutch. Here we got the old, dirty old mechanical choke cable. Check that shit out. Bass knob, of course, gotta be obnoxious. Got the old park and brake lever pedal. Dirty old clicky clacker for my high beams. Old school air conditioning. Pretty mint. Gotta have the cup holders. Arch now, can ya? Got some seat belts out of a dirty old Ford Ranger. Pretty mint. New seat belts here I got out of like some Ford SUV or something. Oh no, they're nice. They work. They're safe. Gotta be safe. Way too many black ice little trees. I think there's like 27 of them. I don't know. But whenever my dad and my mom ride in here, they say my truck smells like a French you-know-what. So, yeah, it's pretty mint. Bold antenna. You know how it is. For whatever reason, this was like a nightmare to put on. But, I mean, it works pretty mint. But even though I don't listen to the radio. So, yeah. Gotta have your cat hat. Cat, sponsor me. I know you won't, but I'd appreciate it. OG F1 Custom. What's up? OJF. Pause. Original F150 custom badges that have been sandblasted and powder coated black. They're pretty mint. Open up the passenger side here. Dirty old broken freaking door cup. I have metal ones. I just haven't gotten around to it yet because it's how you can have them in big jobs. Original door handles. Dirty old crankulators. A little bit of play in that. Mint. My dash. The dash was completely ripped out of this truck and Got my moose, my bobblehead moose. His name's Marvin. He's pretty chill. LED dome light. All right, and now this is one of my favorite parts of the truck here. I'm gonna show you my sound system I got in this thing. So I got 2 Boss Audio 6.5s in both front door panels. Then behind the seat here, you got my rear speakers and my bass setup. This thing is freaking obnoxious. It's awesome. So I got custom with a K boxes that I built out of some dirty wood I had laying around, some tape and shit. We got 3-inch tweeters. I think they're Audio Vox. I don't know. I found them in the car at a junkyard. We got some really nice Rockford Fosgate 4.5s. We got that. We got these on either side here. Then we got a 10-inch bazooka tube pushed by a Scar RP 350. Man, this thing, for being a little amp that only pushes out like 350 watts, it hits hard. I don't know if it's because the port and the bazooka tube, but when you roll all the windows down in this thing, it just shoots bass out. It's freaking awesome. So we did a bed liner around halfway around the whole cab just for durability and all that, but the rest of it's been painted to match the truck. Got a tinted new rear window. This right here is just a poster board that I made up. I take for, you know, car shows and stuff. Anybody that cares to look at it. Just, you know, showing some pictures of the truck. You know, that way I can prove that I didn't just buy it or steal it from somebody or something like that. Because, you know, people be judgy and shit. Oh yeah, 2 other things. Got my earmuffs here for whenever I feel really obnoxious with the stereo. I don't use them anyway. Got a Smith & Wesson knife just in case a tweaker tries to attack me while I'm driving my truck. You never know when that can happen. All right, you gotta watch those tweakers. Here we got a paracord bracelet that I made. It's kind of sentimental. So this socket that I put on here was actually my great-grandfather's, and I inherited that. So we keep that there. Got a dirty old fire extinguisher just because fire's bad. So this is the Camper Special Edition. Basically, the only thing is you get this cool little toolbox here in the side. You know, it's a little scratched up. You know, this is a work truck. We got a dirty hatchet just in case. Cheap ass floor jack that might kill you if you go under a vehicle while using it. Got a tarp, some ratchet straps, dirty rag. So the wheels and tires I got on this truck, I got KMC XDs. I believe they're 18-inch wheels with Venom Power 35 tires. It's got 1.5-inch wheel spacers all around, not just for the stance. I don't know if you'll be able to see, stick out just a little bit for the stance, and also I cannot steer for shit in the front without rubbing. Rubs on the fenders, rubs on the trailing arms, rubs on the headers. I actually had to cut and weld headers on both sides just for clearance for my tires. Pretty mint. In the box of the truck, we got a spare tire just so I don't get stranded if I run over a tweaker needle or something. Bumper stickers, of course, on a window. Emergency gas that I actually had to use today because my fuel gauge is off by a 1/4 tank and I ran out of gas on the side of the highway. It was great. It was downpouring rain and I was soaked. It was awesome. Just personal garbage. Here we got a dirty old bed mat that I got from some truck at a junkyard. Pretty mint. It's really hard. This bitch is like heavier than hell dragging her out of there. So we got her. It's pretty mint. Was scratching up my box. Didn't have one for a tidbit. Here we got RBP. Dirty old tailgate nut thingy because I did not have time to finish tailgate before I had to drive this. So yeah, custom with a K, metal latches, because it had this on both sides and it was like terrible. Never had to put anything here. Be like, oh, hold on, I'll load that up for you. Just give me 10 minutes and I'll do my nut. You know, original step bumper. It's been bed linered. Got this really sketchy trailer hitch receiver deal going on here. Yeah, well, I was gonna cut this off and then I didn't, and so I don't really tow much with it of anything at all. And this hitch is freaking seized in the receiver, so yeah, I'll have to like chain it to a tree and just drive one day, but not today. Underneath, original tank. Replaced the rear axle just because I blew the original one apart trying to do burnout. It was a good time. Really, it was because some tweaker cop jobbed it and they freaking narrowed it, and when they re-welded the axle tubes, the shafts weren't straight, and it was a freaking mess. It was a good time. Yup. All right, kids. Well, it's starting to rain all over the place here, so I'm probably gonna leave before I get soaked for the second time today. But you know, if you like the videos, you got any suggestions for future ones and whatnot, drop it down in the comments below. You know, I want to do a Q&A video and stuff so I can answer all you guys' questions and whatnot. And you know, if you like videos and you want to see more of the truck or more about, you know more about me and what kind of videos I'm gonna make and all that shit, drop it down below. And yeah, maybe we'll go from there. Like and sub, all that shit for more videos. And yeah, thanks for watching. You have a great day.